Yeah, it's twist it until it almost hurts, and then twist it back again. It's like, oh yeah, this is. Uh, I'm ready to go. Almost.
To the limit and then
not
back a
not
bit.
in that sense of the word, of course.
Welcome to episode 73 of the No.1 Crude Mistakes podcast with Glenn from No.1 Projects, KJ from Crude but Efficient, and Haavard from Behind the Mistakes.
Hello.
Lampalong finished. I don't know where I went with that, but I tried.
You were doing so well.
Yeah, I
You
know.
didn't have
I
to
know.
bring it up.
I'm just pleased that it's over.
Have you not enjoyed this experience?
I think I've had all of the feelings during this experience, actually. It's been a roller coaster.
I've thoroughly enjoyed it.
Having all the feelings or
The lamp.
the process? Oh yeah, the lamp. Okay.
Yeah. I only have two feelings.
Yeah, and let's not talk about one of them.
Which one?
So where should we start? Wrapping this whole thing up.
No,
Let's be selfish and talk about ourselves. Glenn, you were first out. So let's start with you.
On the Lampalong?
Yes.
Yeah, I like I said, I've really enjoyed doing the Lampalong. I think it's been a really positive experience. I enjoyed editing your videos, having my video edited for me. I think it's all been great. And I'm happy with my lamp, even though I've had a few rude comments behind the scenes on Instagram. For instance, John Mason described my lamp as an elephant's foreskin.
Once you've read that, you can never unsee it.
Exactly.
Although I was kind of pleased with my name, though, the Devil's Hoof.
Yeah, that was a good one. Definitely. Yeah. And Tim from Turgworks said it looked a little bit like a discarded cigar.
Yeah, I can see where everyone is going with it.
But do you know what? I don't care. I enjoyed making it, and Michelle likes it, and that's really all that matters.
Yeah, you say that, but I mean, did you enjoy it enough to make 2 lamps? No. KJ?
Who would possibly enjoy it that much?
Yeah. I mean, I've heard about someone enjoying pain as pleasure, and I think we have someone on our team.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was more of a redemption story, I would say, because I was so displeased with the first one.
I prefer
the Lampalong Redemption. Yeah, well, it doesn't really have the same oomph as the Shawshank, but
No,
I'll take
really.
it.
I preferred the first one, actually, KJ. I thought it was
apparently
really nice, clean, and nice, clean design. I really liked it.
Everyone does, apparently, because that one is 2 out of 10, whereas the second one is a 9 out of 10 on YouTube. I guess it was Haavards edit that did it.
Probably.
Yeah. But talking about that, the edit, I mean, are we glad it's done? Or do we see a future of moonlighting, editing for others?
No.
I did enjoy editing your video, Hobart. But editing really, when I'm editing something, it really depends on the mood I'm in at the time. And I was obviously in a weird mood when I edited yours because it's not very cohesive in the middle of your video edit. But other than that, I'm still quite pleased with it. I would have put it out there, and nobody watches till the middle anyway, do they? So it doesn't matter.
Oh. But yeah, I'm not sure if I would go as far as describing it like having sex for the first time, but I mean it is exciting, but
And scary.
it's scary. But yeah, you don't blow anyone's socks off. I mean, I think it would take some training. I think to be actually good at I mean, I was going to say editing period, but yeah, editing other people's videos, because it is, when you do your own, all right, I need to get my head out of the gutter. When you do your own, you at least have an image of how it should be. Sorry. But when you're doing someone else's, you have to look through all the footage and maybe several times to try and find what did he actually want here and think here. So, of course, I could have followed up on like talking to you. What did you think here? What do you think, or what do you want? But of course, I did not have time for that. So just let's get to editing.
Yeah, it's a tricky business. We've all got slightly different styles of videos that we put out, but I think you're probably quite a bit further away from mine and KJ's style of editing. You do, I mean, for videos because you put quite a lot of chat into yours, Hogar. I don't know if anybody's noticed out there.
What?
So for me, that was just a completely different experience. But still enjoyable. It was definitely worth doing. And going back to that point about hitting when you're doing a video and you've got ideas of where you want it to go and little bits to put it together. I think KJ hit every cue that I put in mine for sure. So I'm really quite pleased with my video actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks. But I mean, it was a bit awkward editing it because you were, I mean, you had those beats that you were trying to do whatever you say when you filmed it, and me looking through the material and trying to find all of them and not missing any good pieces. And if I were to edit for someone else, I would want to hold the camera as well.
Yeah.
I feel I didn't just want to do the edit. I want to do everything behind the scenes. Someone else can be the star. That would be fine. But I don't want the... It might be bad to call it sloppy seconds. But it's...
I think that completely suits your control freak nature,
It
doesn't
might
it?
be that, yes.
And
Very
not
much.
being the person in front of the camera that makes you the complete puppet master, doesn't it, as well?
You have a point there. Yeah. Didn't consider that, but yeah. Yeah. But we weren't the only ones making lamps, were we?
No, and I must admit, I was surprised over the amount of people tagging along. I mean, I have to revert to using both hands. I'm going to count everyone. So, yeah.
It was more than I thought.
A lot of
Also.
them came out on the Sunday, didn't they? Right at the last minute.
Yeah, a
Yeah, but
few of
that
them
was the
was a bit.
deadline we set.
Yeah. No, I know, but there was no. I didn't get a hint from some of them that it was happening, and then boom, there they are, and they all did a great job.
Yeah, some of them were lurking in the bushes, and some was giving very cryptic hints along the way. And I don't have time, or I don't think it would have been nice. But and then, ooh, look here, a lamp.
I just tripped and lamp.
Yeah. Well, I tried actually before this episode to go through everyone who has posted with the hashtag NCM Lampalong, because the search function in Instagram just seems to work tonight. So I noted down the Loft Workshop, Ola Skytteren, Hog Woodworking, Miguev Makes, A Chain of Creations, and Maker Martin Berg. And of course the three of us, but we don't need to mention that anymore. So
We talked enough about us.
Is that how you say Ula's name? Ola Skytteren?
That's not what he said.
I thought that's what he said. Sorry.
well, I'm not going to repeat it. I'm as unsure as everybody else. I mean, I also use dialect usually, and yeah. So
blame it
move
on
along, move along. But to be fair, though, I think someone bested us. I was going to say at our own game, but wasn't it Ola who actually proposed this at Skaperfestivalen?
It was.
So he's
think so, yeah.
the godfather of the Lampalong.
He's the one to blame.
Very much so. So I'm not gonna ask anyone what's your favorite. Uh, I'm just gonna say that it's not mine. I still
No,
hate my lamp so much,
I
and
mean it's neither of us us three. I can say that much.
yeah,
What?
I I, th- I think it was Rasmus Luen who commented on my YouTube video like brilliant edit to Glenn and medium to Howard for his lamp and like very very much medium.
Oh, I missed that.
So yeah, that's
We got some positive comments over the singing though, Haavard.
That
yeah.
was one of the best parts.
I was that was one of the points I were most excited about to see if you left in or took out because I was kind of pleased you left out a lot of footage in the beginning because I really went
You went down
I,
low.
I went low on the whole lamp thing, but I think I surfaced later on. But yeah, the singing part, and that is maybe the most enjoyable thing about the video, like breaking the fourth wall. You know that someone else is going to do the edit, so you put in these small Easter eggs, and but of course that makes the edit even harder because I rant along and then I also reference the guy doing the edit. So it's yeah, you
Yeah,
did a
but
great
normally that's just you in a different timeline. But here is another other person, so that's more okay to talk with.
yeah, but I mean it doesn't make the job easier for Glenn who's doing the edit. So yeah, hats off to you.
I
Although I'm
think
keeping the hat on because it's fucking cold.
I think that was the one of the trickiest things to deal with. Actually, was your mood from clip to clip. One was happy, one was
Yeah, ask my
sad.
wife.
Editing a bipolar's bloody video here.
We can blame that on being January.
Yeah,
It's the month to
that's the
feel
thing
sad.
though. The next along, maybe not in January or something more jolly, but I can't really see what that could have been. So yeah,
Yeah.
I would like the next along to be a summer long, so we can be outside drinking beer in the sun while
Should we just do a drink along?
You're
you
mixing a
know that's
martini.
yeah.
Yeah, I think it was only a few weeks ago when you were saying, I'm never doing an along again. And last year when we finished the knife along, you said, I'm never doing an along again. And already
Yeah.
you're
Yeah,
talking about the next one.
But let's meet up and serve alcohol, and then everybody gets a piece of paper, and of course you get sloshed. And when you wake up the morning after, whatever is written on your note, that's your next project.
And then we'll do the
The
old
slush
switch round
along.
on. And then we'll do the old switch round on the edits again, shall we?
I thought you were going to say on the projects because I don't want yours because I don't want to do other cock and balls.
I was just about to say we could get the CMOs to suggest what we build, but no, you're dead right.
They had their shot.
They were thinking the same thing. No, but I mean, it is, as you said, you don't really like it when you're up in it. But when it's done, you don't remember the bad stuff that much, or it fades away quickly for me at least. So yeah, I'm probably up for another along, but yeah, let's aim for not January.
I think not aiming for January would be a good thing. I say I enjoyed the process, but I just had the pressure of doing the grown up stuff, the tax return and stuff like that I needed also to get done. So I think that probably made me rush things a little. So yeah, not January. Let's have a not January along.
That I was gonna say not even this year, but and of course this is gonna be a bit of a secret still, and the keyboard being secret, of course, but we might have another long later this year. But yeah. And both KJ and Glenn there are two huge question marks. So yeah, I'll fill them in after this episode.
Look forward to
Okay,
it.
if you say so.
Once it's been said out loud on the podcast, KJ, it has to happen.
Apparently,
Exactly.
yeah.
That's why I'm not saying anymore. So we have a have a retreat option.
So
What
what
if-
else has happened in your life in the last couple of weeks or week, whatever?
I got another video out before the Lampalong, the cabinet along.
Didn't you have that done?
We didn't talk about it last week because
We did it because we had a guest.
we had a lovely guest on. Yes,
And we
Yeah.
should say thank you to that guest as well.
Thank you, Boyle.
Thank you,
Di-
Mr. Wales.
Didn't we talk about the cabinet before that? Because I think something about the glass and the reversed and engraving.
No, we talked about it before I got the video out.
Oh yeah,
I think.
yeah,
we already
maybe. I
talked
don't.
about that in private, perhaps.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Maybe.
don't know.
Anyway, we got a video out. It did all right. Thank you.
Yeah, it was a really nice looking cabinet.
Got some really
Yeah.
positive remarks, that one, actually. Yeah, no one described it as an elephant's foreskin or anything like that.
No, you have to work harder next time.
Yeah, I will get you were
Just do a big trunky looking thing.
But I mean, it's so good that I want to order one. I can't be bothered making one that good myself.
Me neither.
I want
can't
a
be bothered
cabinet for
making
that
another
fun.
one.
But that would be cool though. Making that cabinet and just end it by an finally my chisels has a decent place to go, and the rusty, not squared off edges, and like different plastic handles with burn marks on them, and like finally,
Ballooned ends because you've beaten them with hammers. And, yeah,
yeah.
that's we are on the same page when it comes to chisels.
I so could have done that as well. I do have a selection of beat up ones.
Well, there we have the topic for a reel.
I think your comment, KJ, on my video saying that all of my workshop furniture has to look like that from now on. No, thank you. That's not going to happen.
Why not? Aren't you feeling like making, practicing doing fine joinery and that sort of thing?
I don't know. 2.5 weeks to make a box with a glass door just seems a long time to me.
Yeah, and I enjoy it to a certain degree. There are a few YouTube channels where people are, I mean, their main content is to make their workshop, and of course, for some of them, I just question, but do you make anything in your workshop? It's like people who have a classic car, but they just keep it in the garage and never drive it. I mean, hello, it's a car.
Yeah.
But of course, it's popular content, and I've gotten a lot of good ideas, but I have a more practical approach. I must say I have had a switch the last couple of weeks. I have made all my, I wouldn't go as far as calling it furniture, but yeah, storage solutions and everything. I've kept it to wood. I like the warm feeling, and I also like to have like an eclectic looking workshop. But I think it was John Mason who made like a hex key holder on a 3D printer, and I need that. I have a box of lot of hex balls, and I've been collecting those for years, and yeah, I have to like scramble through that box every time I need one of them. And yeah, went online, found the files, printed 2 of them in half an hour, and just screwed them up at random locations in the workshop, because you always need an Allen key or whatever close by. And it didn't make a dent in my box, so I'm gonna make more holders. But yeah, some small 3D printed what do you call it, workshop fixtures is in my future. I think just to
Nice.
It
I
gets
mean,
done a lot though, doesn't it?
yeah.
yeah, hex keys are the ones still in a box from when I took down my old tool wall, and because I had those small PVC pipes of different widths, thickness, radius, whatever, different sizes. And I measured up the hex keys and put the numbers on them, and everything sorted nicely. And I took them down and put them in a box, and I didn't feel like putting that up again. And I don't know how to store them really.
Shall I tell you what to do? You should do what I did. I had a big box of Allen keys, and I got fed up of sorting through them, so I threw them away. And then I bought a lovely set of new Allen keys, which come with their own storage.
You know
And I've
that
just got one set. I don't need the multiples. You don't need all of that same Allen key that you get with every IKEA piece of furniture that you get that you save. Just one set.
to be honest, I've thought about going down that route because some of them are rusty, and of course the if it's number 5 or number 6, which is also in every IKEA, I have a lot of those. And it's weird. It's not like the number 10 socket who always goes missing in every other toolkit, but for the Allen keys, they just accumulate. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, and I guess it's in the shape, but I'm pretty sure if I threw it away, it would just end up back in my workshop when I turn my back. But yeah, I guess it's
Yeah.
like it's the boomerang shape. I mean, you can't really lose them.
That's
And
so
I
true
bought
about that 10mm socket. What is the deal with that? It is always the one that's missing.
I feel like I'm the odd one out. They must all come to my workshop because I have more than I need of the 10s. I don't lose them at all.
But I'm very glad now that I think it was Harbor Freight, more like a gimmick. They had like you could buy a set of 3 number 10s, so you have more of them. And I did that. I did that with my spanners when I bought my toolkit years ago. I bought 3 of number 10, 3 of number 13, 3 of number 17. That's the most ones used, where you also need 2 of them. So I still have some of those laying around. But yeah, the number 10 socket.
But I mean, the
An
number
elusive
10,
one.
number 10 is not the one that I use the most. It's over 13 for me, it feels like.
Yeah, 11 and 13 are probably more common, but when I
Yeah.
want a number 10, it's always the one that's missing.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah, maybe I don't do enough car work or something like that. I don't know.
Well, yeah, I agree. I mean, it used to be number 13 and number 17, but there has been a lot of 10s the last couple of years on the smaller projects. So that seems it's the next logical step for people to use in smaller, fiddlier projects. So yeah.
Yeah. One reason for me not putting up the Allen keys might be that I actually sorted through my bits box, that big assortment of everything, and actually sorted out the ones that I use, and realized that I have more or less a full set of hex bits instead that I can use with a screwdriver or ratchet or whatever, which is much better than
Yeah,
the bad ones.
that is true though. I have a set that I use for my drill because nothing is more infuriating than having a long hex bolt and you're using that Allen key and you just get it a quarter of a turn because it's so long that it bangs into something else and you have to take it out and put it in again and then do a quarter of a turn. And so yeah, if you can use the drill bit, that is the preferred choice.
Yeah.
But another thing is that made me think about doing the same as you did, Glenn, is that I have some of them. They are longer, but on the end they also have like a ball shape. It's a notch, so you can actually use them at a bit of an angle.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I've seen those.
And those kits they cost like £2, right, at the hardware store. So I was thinking those are better. I could buy 2 sets and then just throw the rest away or give it away to a blacksmith or something. They seems to be in high demand of steel all the time. So yeah. this week's topic, I guess. Allen keys.
Hex keys, you don't need them, but you still keep them.
Well, that being said, though, I used, of course, for the not only the two-stroke coffee grinder, but if I'm using bolts, I prefer to use the Allen key heads, hex key heads, or I don't know. What are their proper names? I mean, is it Allen heads? That sounds a bit weird.
Hex keys are Allen keys, aren't they?
I think so. I mean, it
Yeah.
feels like all of the different heads have a person name, probably named after someone who claims to have invented them.
Yeah.
Oh, Allen, yeah. Okay, so what about the torque ones?
That's just good.
All right then.
Very good. KJ's using his words this evening.
Trying at least, but failing. I'm glad you're entertained.
I am. So how's the coffee grinder coming on, Haavard?
Brilliantly. I had, was it a week ago? I was sitting in my workshop and having like a bit of a downer. Like I did not feel it, and then I just got an idea, and then I got up and I started working, and it's sitting on my left side here. It's completed, except the mounts for the fuel tank. Now I made 2 brackets. Thought I'd 3D print them because I don't want to weld on it after I painted it, and of course I'll knock 2 out before the podcast. And yep, turns out they don't fit because the holes don't align. So I need to make 2 more. So that's for tomorrow. But it's getting close to a test run. So I think I'm gonna finish everything up, even the filming this weekend. And as a bonus, I did not know this at the time, but I haven't been drinking coffee for 3 weeks, and I'm gonna have my first coffee after a hiatus with the coffee beans from the two-stroke coffee grinder. So that's going to be the end to the video. I'm going to grind some coffee beans, have 2 sips of coffee, and then run off to the toilet.
Just run down your hill and just keep going.
5 laps around the house first.
No, but it's been a fun project, and it has also, I mean, it's been crappy weather outside, so I have not wanting to do welding outside, so I had to clean up my workshop to actually have room to do some welding in a safe manner inside my workshop. So I got the tractor. I moved out, and of course I dismantled the organ. So that is no more.
Really
sort of.
disappointed in that.
You know, me too, almost. I was, I mean, my biggest dream was roll it outside and set fire to it while playing Great Balls of Fire. But learning how to play Great Balls of Fire, that would have taken me several years. And I burned a small bag of coffee powder. And the cleanup of that alone just made me realize I don't want to burn down the piano, because you have to pick part out of the gravel for years afterwards, and I like to go bare feet in the summer, and yeah, the neighbors and somebody would probably call the fire department, or maybe not. But so I started taking it apart, and then I learned something. And what I learned was that 90% of the volume of these are basically the stand to keep it upright and the bellows system. So when I took it apart, I realized that the organ part is relatively small, and it's just sitting on top of a slit in a plate, and everything below that slit is the bellows system because it's actually drawing air out of the organ. And that got me thinking, if I remove everything else and I just attach a vacuum hose, and I have a vacuum cleaner, which I use for the hellcorder, and use that to draw, and that will draw a lot more air than I can do with the pedals. So I should have all the power I need. So I could make a small portable reed organ. And then it got me thinking, in the 80s, you had the guitar, which was the keyboard shaped as a guitar. And after I demolished the organ and the top side was still there, I haven't destroyed that. And I realized I can lift this. It's not comfortable for a very long time, but should I attach a guitar neck to it and make like a adapter so that the hose from the vacuum cleaner looks like a huge jack plug that I just plug it in and I just use it as a, so that it doesn't, it's going to take me an afternoon to make the parts to just make that play. And then of course I'm probably going to stumble into something that it needs to look a bit greater. So it needs a lick of paint and some covers and whatnot. But yeah, I just scored myself another project in the process of getting rid of that one.
Nice.
A steampunk guitar.
What's the size of the part, the bellows at the moment? Or whatever they are.
Oh, at the
box.
moment,
Yeah.
it's flat packed like an IKEA furniture on my trailer.
Okay.
But yeah, the module is, I mean, it's as long as the width of the keyboard, and I think it's
About 120.
yeah, 120, and I think it's roughly 30 centimeter high because of all the valves and the system that is like 40 centimeters deep. So
It's like a big electric piano.
yeah,
It's not
basically.
that portable, is it?
I mean, Haavard is strong. He can manage.
Yeah,
Yeah,
with a
yeah,
neck
yeah.
on it as well. That's going to be look
I
amazing.
need to work out, and then I can crochet. I mean, you need a beefier guitar strap, like with a back plate, and like the ones that the furniture movers use.
That sounds like a brilliant idea.
So yeah, there's still parts of an organ in my workshop, but it's yeah, and I need to take some parts off Christine for another project, but I'm gonna keep her for now. But I'm thinking about taking her apart. I just screwed everything together so I can flat pack her and put her away. And for those of you who don't know, it's a car.
It's my wife.
So yeah, that's and yeah, it's I have one fun project, and I just made myself a new one, and the final straw of the week. Can you say that? Well, I ordered a bagpipe, so that's it's on its way.
Nice.
I got the confirmation, and they say it's on the way, so it's 7 to 10 days. So yeah, really looking forward to that one. I'm not sure how. It should be a quick and dirty project, but I'm not sure because there are possibilities of rabbit's holes to fall into there. So, but I'll keep you updated.
I wouldn't make it that quick and dirty if I were you. The Hellcode has been such a big project for your channel that this one could also be another one. So I think you should, take your time and get something of quality out of this one.
Yes, and I think the most work is going to be in the programming and fitting the parts because I have the guitar, which I cannibalized for parts a few years ago. So I have to get some of the electronics back in, but the guitar is there. I just need to route out some cavities on the backside to mount the electronics, which I already have. And I'm not going to do any modifications to the bagpipe because it needs to work. all I need is a 3D print a holder for the valves for the playing flute thingy. I know they have different names. I don't know them. Probably never will learn them. But I did find a German guy that has made a MIDI playable flute, just one flute with the same setup that I've been thinking of. So I'm going to send him a message and praise the hell out of him and ask, can I get your coding for that? But it was in German, so I'll need my wife to translate. But I think he has already put some of it out on a Arduino community. So I just have to make my wife verify. Yeah, that's the link you want to download. So it shouldn't be too much time, and it shouldn't be as much parts designing with the Hellquarter. So it shouldn't take too much time. But yeah, I'm going to enjoy it.
Nice.
But enough about me. How about you? What's the next on your making horizon, Glenn?
Yes, I have started another project. I think it's going to be a fail.
That's a good
way to start it.
Yeah,
good start off. Yeah.
and I don't think I want to share it at the moment what I'm doing, but I think the working title is "It Doesn't Get More Scrapwood Than This." And I think that's all I'm prepared to give you at the moment.
So your last one was a piece of firewood, and you're going scrappier than that.
Yes. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is that the same like the picture you sent us here the other day?
Yes.
Yes.
So shh. Don't tell anybody.
I don't remember it, so it's fine.
To be honest, I wouldn't know what to tell them. So I'm very much intrigued and looking forward to the results.
Yeah, I think even if it is a fail, which I think it will be, I think I'll still do it as a video, to be fair.
Yeah,
I think it's
nothing
I think it's an interesting concept which can happen, just maybe with somebody with a few more brains and skill than me.
Oh, don't sell yourself short there.
So what about you, Mr. Two Videos, KJ? What else have you been up to?
I have
third lamp?
No.
For a change?
I'm fine with lamps at the moment. Had 2 ideas, one worked and one didn't. I'm giving that a rest. No, I am mostly been tidying my workshop because it's still a bit untidy since the tool wall. But I've also been gathering materials and courage, I would say, for the next 2 projects, which are kind of tied together. So that's the battery video I've been talking about for so long, that I actually scored. I thought I scored some stuff for it, but I scored more than that, because at the recycling station, I just glanced at the battery bins, as you do, and so that's a nice looking Makita battery lying there on the top, just ready to be taken. So I did, and hightailed out of there before no one saw me. And checked it. It didn't give any readings when I pushed the indicator button on it, but I thought that I can put it on the charger to see before I cannibalize it. But it took charge fine, and it works as well as a battery should.
It's a big one as well, isn't it?
It's a 5 amp hour.
Yeah.
And I mean, those aren't cheap. So that was
a nice little win.
Yeah, definite win. But yeah, because I'm going to attempt to repair or modify, or what do you want to call it, a dead tool battery, and talk about batteries in general and that sort of thing. Because I think it's interesting.
I think
how they work and what you can and what you shouldn't do.
You're just making a video for Tim and Chloe, aren't you?
I was gonna say that, but in a nicer way. I mean, I'm really looking forward to the battery video, but I also have been thinking, and it's a bit of internal. I mean, you need to be a part of the bad audio chat group. Yeah. There are some electrical engineers there, and sometimes they wander off into their own bubble, not realizing that there are other peoples here, and they talk about transformer cabinets and whatnot. And I like the aesthetics of them because they're usually old metal green. So if you like old tools, you like the aesthetics of them, but I have no idea what they're talking about. So if you could make a nerd out explanation video about that, and I would watch it. So it would be, of course, you who made it and me. So it's not gonna probably be a big numbers turner, but
No, I'm used to no one watching my video, so it's fine.
That's sad.
And also, I have behind me there. I'm laying flat on the table is some EVA foam because you buy that in rolls, and I want it to be flat. So it's been, I've been. It's like what's it called that you put your sleeping bag on.
Oh, a roll mat.
Yeah, roll mat.
Or a yoga mat.
yoga mat. I was gonna
Yeah,
say,
it's but a bit stiffer than a yoga mat, but something like that. So you need to tell it not to be a cylinder anymore before you use it. Yeah, I'm really good with words.
Stay flat, you son of a. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know the struggle. Yeah.
So that's in preparation of the other project.
Did you say what that was already?
You were listening. Or you were not sure if you were listening.
I'm doubting myself.
Excellent. That's no, that's I did not say what it was. That's the Star Wars droid build.
Ah, yes.
Because I want the EVA foam to make it what do you say, continuous surface? I mean, making all the side surface thingies look the same.
That made no sense, but yeah.
I think we know what you mean, KJ.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say skinning it, but that's the reverse. Then you take it off. I want to.
You want to make it all look seamless?
Yeah, that too. But having the same texture on the outside, so like putting a skin on it. What would you call that?
A condom?
Yes, but let's go with that. I'm condoming it.
So this is your non-famous droid, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. You pretty much make what you want then.
But I mean, if it is, is it the Star Wars inspired, or is it an actual droid? Because some of them are less famous, but I think all of them have their sub following on.
Yes, I mean it's definitely have a big article on Wikipedia, and with sublinks and that sort of thing. So yes, it's an existing one. I would say it's the best one, but I'm not gonna fight anyone on that because Star Wars nerds are some of them are the worst nerds.
Yeah, I pretty much know R2-3. No, I don't know that one either. R2-D2, C-3PO.
Yeah, the little friend of the gay one. So, and everybody knows which one I'm talking about. Beep, boop, beep, boop.
I guess we're a bit tired because it wasn't that funny, but it was really funny still.
Well, it beats an awkward silence.
Yeah, it
Brilliant.
does. No, but I mean those. I'm not going to go into names. They are. I mean, they're done to death. I would say. I mean, they are still cool, but they've been in too many movies and too many people have done them. I mean, there's a lot of Star Wars droids at Maker Central, at least the 2 years I've been, and the ones who look exactly like the movie props. I mean, they're cool and all that, but they're not interesting. I mean, last year I really liked the one that looked like an R2D2, but it was painted like Darth Vader.
I can't
Yeah.
remember that
Then
one.
you put a fun spin on it.
Well, I totally agree with you, and I think it was one of the newer movies, or if it was one of the series. I don't know. I can't keep track anymore. But you had the round one, the BB-8,
Yeah.
and someone made that, and I actually got a radio controlled one. Like because of all the gyros and now all the possibilities with programming and sensors and whatnot, you could actually make it work. And I think that I always wanted to make a droid, but I don't want to make a droid that's just sitting there without having a function. And
Yes,
I've
definitely.
never had the skill set of making a fully functioning robot. So it would have been a droid with a very simple function. And of course, what I've been thinking is, all right, but I can build one, and as a base, I can use like one of these automated vacuum cleaners, so it will just walk around like beep up while it's hoovering the floor. But I still haven't found the perfect droid for that I want to use it. But I see now you can download an AI companion to help you and everything, and they are compatible with Alexa and whatnot. So now you can have an AI robot talking to you and interacting with you, and then acting as your servant, like doubling for Alexa or Siri or whatnot. And then I think, all right, now the hardware and enough people have made the software to make robotic droids that work and move and so on. And now you can download the software, and I'm relatively decent at computer stuff, so I think we're getting to that threshold where even I, with my limited knowledge on all those fields, can put them together into a box, which is going to be the droid, and then make it work. And then, so I am thinking that within the next couple of years, you're going to see droids that are not only moving around, but they're making their own choices of moving around. Then you can interact with them. So there is not a guy walking 10 meter behind you, like inconspicuously holding a remote control. So because that happened last year, I think, at Maker Central. It was this guy walking, and he had R2D2 by the side of him, and yeah, that was cool. And then I realized, but there is a guy trailing them 10 meters behind with a controller, but I did not see anything radio controlled. So yeah, oh yeah, he's controlling the droid. So that took some of the magic out of it.
The droid was fully automated. He was controlling the man.
I mean, if that were so, that would have been so awesome. That yeah, but yeah, I
I mean,
don't think
that's a
that.
really good spin on it. If you have something that is kinda intelligent, just to give you instructions to a remote that looks like a remote control, but it's a screen that tells you what to do. And so
Yeah, or
the
you
car
go,
drives you.
or of course you went up to the person and you said, "That's a bloody cool droid, that," and then the droid says, "Thank you, I worked on him for years," and then he just takes the face off the person, and oh
Yeah.
fuck, that's the robot.
Oh yeah, that's the future,
Yeah, Skynet is here, definitely.
and we are friends with the robots. Hi
Yeah,
to all the
we
bots
are the friendly
listening to the
robot
podcast.
podcast.
Yeah, for a couple of years I wore a bracelet that said "Friend of robots, do not terminate."
Yeah.
But the singularity never happens, and I think I lost it somewhere.
But I saw an ad this week, or was it last week, that you now have your first AI co-worker, and they showed some digital robot doing all the tasks for you and multimedia management and whatnot. Maybe we should see if they have like a trial period or something, and see if we can't we could have the first AI guest. Have that been done before?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Badly,
then we'll
I
be
think.
the second podcast to have AI. I mean, the most interesting podcast have no wait. It's Stop digging there, Haavard, and move along.
You don't think we have any more friends who want to come on the podcast? We have to resort to digital ones.
Yeah, well,
I don't know.
no,
Some of
I
our
think
listeners...
there are still someone at. We do have at least a couple of people in the pipeline, and you might know who you are, and yeah, your time is coming in a non-ominous way.
And if you do know who you are, can you let me know, please?
If you know who you are, call Glenn.
Yeah, because we don't know. Yeah, but that's to be fair though. I mean, we might just. I mean, people, instead of waiting, you could make it happen. I mean, we had people just calling us up. Can I be a guest? Of course. It's not more difficult than that. We are open, inclusive, and welcoming. So.
I mean, the first guest we ever had, well, I mean, he wanted to be a guest before we had the first episode of the podcast out, I think. So.
Yeah, that's true. Like, oh, you're thinking about the Can I be a guest? Sure.
I was so nervous about having a guest on for the first time.
Yeah, but I mean, now it's no. I'm rambling on. I can hear it myself. But is there a way of setting up to have a guest without knowing which guest you're having on? And of course, once the person logs on, then we know. But you can actually log on without turning your camera on. So could we have a mystery guest and have the entire podcast not knowing who we are talking to, and then just try piecing it out through the episode?
Just like a Guess Who sort of thing.
Guess who? Yeah.
Guess who?
I like it. Yeah, we could do that. You could certainly keep it secret from two of us.
Yeah, the third one needs to.
Yeah.
Or we can outsource it to someone. Just arrange us for a guest for that date. We're going to send the login link to you. You forward it to the guy or girl or AI or whatever. And then
have them on wearing a mask.
That would be cooler though, because then you could react to the I was going to say the facial expressions of the mask, but it's going to be that gay fairy foxy. What's the V for Vendetta mask thingy?
Yeah, the Guy Fawkes.
Yeah,
the foxy one.
I was going to say the gay fox, but yeah, I don't judge. So, but yeah. That's a cool idea. Let's not throw that away immediately. Just let us forget it as we usually do.
The problem would be is if you guessed who they were in the first couple of minutes, and then you've done no prep because you didn't know who you were having on to ask them any other questions.
That's just a quick search on Instagram, probably.
I never prep anyway, so.
Well, I think we've been lucky. We've had people on we know, haven't we, most of the time?
Yeah.
At least one of us have known.
Or we could every now and then. No, it's hard because if it's too many people, it's going to be like a mess. So we can't just throw the link out there and see who bothers to log on.
No, I suggested that for Christmas time. You two guys weren't so impressed with that idea, and I'm glad you weren't after we had the meetup with everybody.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard podcasts that have that kind of chat roulette of having like a time slot of 5-10 minutes and then switching guests, and it's not that fun to listen to.
That it needs to be a video episode of the podcast, and we have done one before, but yeah, let's have the podcast, make an account on Chat Roulette. We press record, log on to Chat Roulette, but then it would be nice if we did that at an occasion where we are gathered. So we're just sitting in the same room and just people popping up. Welcome to the #1 Crude Mistakes podcast. You are now a guest. And then, of course, like they panic and click on, and then there's a new person. And then some of them might hang around, and you can get some banter out of it. And then
and a lot of genitalia, I think.
A lot of male genitalia, I would suspect. But yeah, I mean, you should do it for a half pint then.
I think we should invite 3 guest hosts on for a week.
And don't show up to ourselves.
Yeah.
It's a bit like the Lampalong then. We could just give them the episode and we just do the edit afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah. Click on this link, chat for an hour, press leave, and then we'll do the rest.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
I mean, you are able to log in as a producer and just watch the back end of
that's true.
an episode. Oh, that's possible.
I couldn't watch in the background, though, because I would be one of those radio hosts or radio producers that just instantly press the button to, like, I want to say something.
Like trying to insert yourself
comments
in
from
every
the back room.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we did. I mean, that would have been an alternative also for the wives. We did chat about that as a possibility for an episode as well.
Yeah.
I think you two probably got the same sort of response as I did, and my wife's not too keen.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Never coming on a podcast and speaking to 2 other women that she's never spoke to in her life and doing it for an hour and a half.
Yeah. Very much like our first episode. I mean,
yeah. I mean, I'm sure that they would get along rather good, but I think they would need to meet in some other sense than a recording date. A recording date. That sounds nice. Let's end the episode on that.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a date.
It's a date. And on that bombshell, yeah, all right. Good night. Or
bye.
Good morning.
Bye. Good whatever you're having.
You went deep there, KJ. Bye.
Yeah, I can go deep if I need to.
You don't need...
This is the deepest, perhaps.
You don't need to hear, mates. We're good. We're good.